Sandy Says Read. Welcome to the channel. This evening we are going to do a review and short discussion of Unbroken Bonds of Battle by Johnny Joey Jones. Get the glare off of it. You guys know it wouldn't be a Sandy Says Read review without a glare on the book. There we go. It's a very pretty book too. We're going to look at it a little bit while we're on this review as well. Let me start with a quick little caveat. I did not know when I ordered the book that the copyright is owned by Fox News Channel. I didn't know this, or Fox News Corporation, whatever. I bought the book because, and I don't want to get crazy here, but I think Joey is hot. He's like a beefcake of patriotism. That's why I bought the book. I wanted to read his book and see what he had to say. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to denigrate Fox News or any of the other news channels. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to move on with our review of the book, because I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there and everyone who has served our country. And thank you to all the veterans out there and everyone who has served our country. I recognize that the freedoms I get to enjoy are because others have sacrificed, and I am thankful. I am grateful. And after reading this book, I'm a little bit heartbroken too. I don't want to give the impression that this is depressing. This is not a depressing book. There are moments that are somewhat uplifting in here if you read it right. But there were also moments that were just depressing to me, because there is so much that these warriors have to go through. They don't have to. I wish that they could just stay home and defend us here. I wish that things didn't have to happen, but war is stupid, and there we go. These stories included in this book are essays by and from actual soldiers who have fought for our country. One of them is a Gold Star wife. These are stories from the actual people who are living with trauma, who have been through trials and tribulations, but have come through those trials and tribulations. These are stories from survivors. These are stories from people who have wisdom to share. So there is wisdom in this book. It's not just, like I just said, it was somewhat depressing to me. It's not just depressing to me. There's also wisdom in here. So it's also uplifting. It's also educational to me too. So I want to get that message across with this video as well. Hopefully I will succeed in that. Okay, let's talk about the specs. You know what? I have the specs for you guys. This is Unbroken Bonds of Battle, a modern warrior's book of heroism, patriotism, and friendship by Johnny Joey Jones. It was published in 2023 by Harper Collins, publisher. This book is 258 pages. I don't think there's a paperback version yet, so this is the only version, and it's 258 pages. The essays are divided up into like the first three chapters, three retired U.S. Marine Corps folks give those three chapters. The second three chapters, the United States Army and Air Force are represented in there. Then the last four chapters, we have the Army, the Marine Corps, and the Army again represented in there. You'll notice the Navy is not represented. What's up with that, Joey? Now, this is the second take for this video, because I started to read for you guys this like inscription in the front of the book where Joey has listed some of his, comrades who didn't get to come home. And it's a lovely little inscription right there. And I can't read it for you because when I do, I burst into tears. So I've already gotten over that and stopped crying so we could do the second take of this video. So I'm not going to read that for you. I encourage you all to purchase the book and you can read the inscription yourself, because these gentlemen should not be forgotten, right? So I encourage you to read that yourself. Or if there's on Amazon, if there's the Amazon does that like sneak peek inside, you can read the inscription there probably. Okay. Let me look at my notes, you guys. Okay, instead of reading, in these, I'm kind of rambling, y'all. In these reviews, I like to give you all like a taste of the writer's style, right? I read a little snippet, to give you guys a taste, a flavor. I would have to read a little snippet out of each and every single one of the essays, right? Because every one of the chapters is an essay from another veteran. They each have their own style. They each have their own story to tell in their own words. So each of these essays would be a little bit different. So I'm not going to do that. I think I would start trouncing on copyright if I did that. But instead, I'm going to read just an example of one of them that was interlaced with a bit of humor that I thought was intriguing. And it was just a bit more uplifting than the others, actually. But the sense of humor came through, and I liked that, and I wanted to share that with you. But I also wanted you to kind of read between the lines with me as well in part of this. Okay, so we're going to read from page 202 and over on page 203. The Corporal Jacob Schick is the one that we're reading from. And he says, "I was still awake, trying to come down off the adrenaline high of the standoff we had just had a few hours before with the 65 Iraqi National Guard. There were only 10 of us from the REACT teams, and with my Marine math, I knew we outnumbered them. We captured 2 high-profile targets that night, and one of the weapons companies came in carrying all the big toys. The Iraqis pretty much surrendered right then." So I like his Marine math. That was good. I like the sense of humor that was in there. But over here on page 203, he's talking about, he had this sixth sense, this sort of gut feeling that something was about to go wrong, and so he's protecting his men that are, in his troop, in his company. And he says, "I also took the radio man's comms and told everybody to button up, meaning if you were issued any protective gear at all, put it on." And that stood out to me. I just stutter through that. That stood out to me because he's saying if you were issued any protective gear at all, put it on. And they had sensed that I knew something wasn't right after that. Blah 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 blah. On it goes with the story. But that stood out to me because I'm aware that I've had friends serve in the military, and there is a lack of equipment for our soldiers who are going off to war, who are out there in harm's way. And right here, he just kind of glosses right past it, past the fact that, if you didn't have protective gear, well, maybe you're SOL, right? What a horrible thought. And then further down, he says, "I like to say I'm a Marine and believe in good form, so I came down on my head. I also like to say that because of God, I never lost consciousness, and that allowed me to remember everything. I stayed awake and alert despite whatever shot I was given. It took the Black Hawk helicopter 42 minutes to come and extract me. A long 42 minutes, but at least I was the only one who sustained serious wounds." Okay, he's talking about, his gut was right. His sixth sense was on target, and they were hit, and he was injured. And he had to sit there for 42 minutes, or lie there for 42 minutes while, medical aid tried to help him. And it took 42 minutes before he could be evacuated out. And that's the kind of crap that our servicemen are having to deal with when they go into these war zones. And I hate that. I know we all hate that. We hate the idea of war. We hate the idea that anyone should have to go into a war zone. We hate it. And I wish it didn't have to happen. Of course. I don't know. But this book just brought it home, okay? It just kind of brought it home, and I don't know, it just makes you stop, it makes you think. It makes me extremely thankful for the people who have gone into harm's way so that I didn't have to. So that I don't have to be afraid when I go to bed at night. There's a Marine on guard. And I'm thankful for that. You guys, this has been rambling. I'm so sorry. But I got kind of off track with the first take of the video. So you guys get rambling instead. So thumbs up for, at least powering through take 2, right? Okay. Y'all, you have to subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon so that you are notified when I do these random things, whether I'm on take 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it's going to take to get through this. There we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please let someone from the armed services know that you appreciate their sacrifice today.